This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena, I am excited to bring to you a deck of my own creation that plays into so many things that you love, just torturing the opponent, making them miserable, but also brings in some of the new themes from Kaldheim that have proven successful in other shells. I am talking about Jeskai Dragon Control. So this deck's origins are in the blue-red Izzet Tempo Dragon control deck, which we did a video of a while ago and has been around the ladder here and there. I said I didn't like it much in best of one, and that is still true, but the shell of that deck was Goldspan Dragon, Brazen Borrower, Bonecrusher Giant, Shark Typhoon, and also counters, like Saw It Coming. So we still have that for the deck, but we bumped it up to 80 cards to run Yorion, because that's what you do if you hate rogues and you want to get more cards into your deck. And with the extra slots, we added some things that Izzet couldn't do on its own. We added some exile effects from Glass Casket and Elspeth Conquers Death. We added a powerful Planeswalker in Narset of the Ancient Way, who adds to the ramp strategy with the +1. We added Inspired Ultimatum to give us something awesome to do with that dragon mana and that Narset mana, which is just a card. I've got a soft spot for Inspired Ultimatum. It definitely hasn't been the strongest ultimatum, but it reminds me of Sphinx's Revelation, and it's in the sweet spot of 5 life and 5 damage and 5 cards, and I just want to play with the card. So getting 3 of them into this deck made me pretty happy. And then on top of that, we have the card Raven's Warning, which we get from the color white, which we saw this a little while ago. It's a good wishboard card for best of one. We played it in Doom Foretold and it did very well. Here we get the 1/1 bird token. We gain the 2 life. Now the second chapter is a little better here than in Doom Foretold, because it says whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deal combat damage to a player this turn. If we play this on turn 4 and we gain 2 life and we make a bird, and the opponent's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna, I don't know, stomp your bird, kill your bird, right? So now you're not going to draw the card and see my hand. But on our turn 5, we play Goldspan Dragon and attack with it, and they're like, Goldspan Dragon, I must kill it, Heartless Act, and we're like, saw it coming. That's pretty sweet. And we still get to draw a card and see their hand, and the next turn we go to our wishboard, which I've got laid out over here, and we get to pick a card and put it on top of the library. So Disdainful Stroke, 2 negates, just good for the counterspell matchup. Weathered Runestone, good for the Croxa decks and graveyard stuff. Baneslayer Angel, get him. That is a pretty good card to put on top if you just need a threat and they probably can't kill it. 2 Doom Scars. No sweepers in the deck, just sweepers in the sideboard, and you just access them in the matchups where you really need them. Otherwise, we try to keep our opponent's board under control with our various cards here. We do have a lot of spells that can help us in that regard, so hopefully I don't need the main deck sweepers. 1 Elspeth Conquers Death, because sometimes you want to fetch that. 1 Ox of Agonis. Against rogues, you sneak it on top of the library, they mill you. Haha, got him. 1 Dream Trawler, that can just sometimes win the game. 1 Inspired Ultimatum to fetch when you know you can cast it. 1 Ugin to see who the new mono red converts are, because everybody always fetches Ugin, even though it's rarely the good card to fetch if they know, if they're really in the know. And then there's a Heliod's Intervention for the artifacts and enchantments, and a Field of Ruin if you need a land drop or need to beat a Faceless Haven or a Crawling Barrens. So that's the board. We still have Shark Typhoon, which is a great win con on its own. Also teams up with Raven's Warning to be a flyer. Also as a mana sink for that Goldspan Dragon. You also ramp into the hard cast with Narset, so it plays with all the cards in the deck really well. And then in the land category, we've got all the pathways, the Triome, we've got the Fabled Passage, and we've got 4 copies of Amiri's Call, because we can cast them or discard them with the Narset. And we ramp into them with the Dragon, and 2 Seagate Restoration for the same reason. That's the deck. I'm excited to play it. It's Jeskai, it's Yorion, it's the Tempo Dragonness. It's kind of a hodgepodge. and I've had some good luck with it so far, and I'm excited to see how it does today. Keep in mind that there are no sweepers in the main deck, and kind of grade our performance, like how do we do against aggro, where did we need a sweeper, where don't we need a sweeper, and can we, do we, will we cast Inspired Ultimatum? Will it be awesome and epic? I hope so. Today's video dedication, number 750 in a row. Guys, streak hit 750. That's 750 days in a row of a Magic Arena video on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying it. I know I am. I think I got a long ways to go. So don't you worry about that, but gotta stop at the pretty round numbers, right? 750, well, that's over 2 years. COVID wasn't in your vocabulary. I hope I don't get demonetized for that. But it wasn't even in the national vocabulary when I started doing this. And my gosh, it seems like it's been such a long time. I don't remember what life was like without it. Anyway, streak video number 750 is dedicated to the latest YouTube member who is No Pro Pudge. We have 297 YouTube members, 3 more to 300. If any of you want to get on that, thank you so much to the members. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting the content. You keep me just focused on making a cool deck video every day instead of worrying about a million other ways to monetize myself. So, in your honor, we're going to pick up a deal that I saw in the store, and there's some good Gruul stuff. And I'm either on Primal Might or Rada, and Primal Might is probably the better card, but Rada, to me, is the card I like more. So, this one is for you. Thank you, No Pro Pudge, for joining the Cool Kids Club Dojo. Your membership is appreciated. Now let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Well, that's a painful hand, but we're on the play and we have early interaction. And we have Inspired Ultimatum, who can catch us up if we ever get to cast it. Are you mono red? Let's find out. Let's get our painful land out of the way. We need red sources. Robber of the rich. Doesn't get to steal anything, though. There's a red source. Let's hide our redness. Don't let them know we have anything in common. Let's also hold the casket and try to use these mystical disputes for a few turns. Ta-da! Do we hide the redness for more? For longer? I don't think so. Do it like this. Again, I'm going to try to use these mystical disputes. They're expensive against mono red, and the only reason that we're getting to here is because they didn't have a 1-drop and we were on the play. So getting these out of our hand is just good magic, and next turn we can play Narset into Casket for an empty board. And then if we draw untapped land, we Inspired Ultimatum. It is a scary turn. Things could go wrong. It seems like we're way ahead, but we're only 2 cards versus 5 in their hand. How did this happen? They hit their land drops and played a spell each turn too. All right, Fireblade Charger, Bone Crusher Giant. They've got board. We do not have the untapped land, but we did draw the dragon. But we don't have double red. What on earth will we do? So I think for sure we kill the Bone Crusher Giant with the Narset. So what are we discarding? We could discard the dragon. That's not great. We could buy the Yorion and discard it. That might be the best. Oh, there's the untapped red too. How unfortunate. But here's your kick. So, is that enough to bring back Phoenix? Not yet. We need our Narset to survive, and I don't know if it will. The opponent has the Snowland. They can power up the Haven. They go for Torbrand instead, which we can't counter because they had the untapped land. Oh, So now we need an untapped red to Inspired Ultimatum. I guess the dragon can provide it, but we have to basically die for it. You can't let the opponent untap with a Torbrand, and they're going to. Oh, I'm angry. So angry. You know, Frostbite kills this. They don't go for it there if they have the Frostbite. No, instead they just get to totally destroy me. Robber of the Rich. Okay, let's hope that they're lining up the perfect mana for Embercleave and that they walk right into another... They might actually do it. They might walk into a Jwari Disruption. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you! Thank you very much, Mono Red. Down to 5. Nice, yeah, I know, right? Alright, so we have to generate the mana. Hit him in the face. Inspired Ultimatum. I will gain the life. This will take the damage. And we have our white source. So we get to play Casket too. And we will take your Robber of the Rich. And we will hope that we don't die. Five cards in graveyard means the Phoenix can come back here, but they're powering up the Haven instead. This is 5 damage. Yeah, Rimrock, okay. 6-7, down to 3. Ah. Make them stop. That is a draw. What I really want to do is play this and then play that. I think I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yep. No, 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 not now. Not now. I need the treasure. Did I blow it? No, I didn't blow it. It's just too close. I got too excited. It's fine. This is fine. I oopsied. Everybody oopsies. All right. White, white, white. Red, red. I guess I need another red for a future. A future Inspired Ultimatum. So low on life. My gosh, this game! The classic mono red battle. Ah, I didn't mute the mic. I muted the game volume. Okay. I mean, that goes there. This goes here. It's pretty easy. Is it another Embercleave off the top? Don't do me like that. All right, so the opponent has to Rimrock to make sure both angels die so they're not dead. Smart. All right, let's go make a blue and draw some cards. And that is a Riverglide Pathway, a Saw It Coming. Saw It Coming's pretty nice. I really want to play this and gain the life, but can I still Saw It Coming? Yes, I can. All right. As long as the dragon's alive, I can still Saw It Coming. As a verb, you know. So much life gain. Just picking up points of life every single turn to stay above water, and the opponent says no more. He will take no more. Down with mono red. Let's go. Maybe they play blue. So far, I'm 100% on drawing Mystical Disputes against mono red and never against a blue counter deck. So it's been a good day. Let's go ahead and just stomp this now. They might have Robber of the Rich, but they can't really steal anything, I don't think. They would have to get down to 4 cards in hand. Seems unlikely. Okay. White Source, have a giant. Let's see if they have Frostbite on time. I also really wanted to play a Mystical Dispute that turn, so maybe I did it wrong. Okay, they don't have a full power Frostbite. And they have a baby Annex. Let's grab the Annex. Man, when am I going to play this Mystical Dispute, though? I think that giant was a mistake. Because when am I going to cast this card? Maybe I never cast it, and that's okay. But against Mono Red, usually every card matters. They found their third Snowland, so now they get the Frostbite. Perfect Magic. Please don't steal a giant. They steal an Omen. Gosh, so frustrating. And they have second Annex. Great. All right, it's on. Oh, that's the play. That's the play. All right. So I can bounce and then dispute. Or I can dispute. Yeah, they might go for an Embercleave here. Either way, I've got them really well covered at instant speed, thanks to the draw of the Borrower. They don't steal much. Go. I almost wanted them to play this because I could bounce it. So they go for the Embercleave. We can... Let's counter the Embercleave. Let's Brazen Bounce the Robber. We can Brazen Bounce the Annex, but then we can't ECD. Yeah, we'll just bounce your Robber. Opponent's bored. Poor thing. Poor little Zoomer. Poor little Zoomer mono red player. Getting all bored. It's so sad. We have a Bone Crusher Giant in the graveyard to bring back. This is mono red, they play mono red. Mono red, mono red. Robber of the rich. Stolen Omen of the sea. Scry 2, draw a card. Haha, mono red. Alright, so they must have had that land in hand. They wouldn't scry a land to the top. So we say go and we ambush with Shark Typhoon and the opponent can't Embercleave. Seems good. Now we draw another Brazen Borrower and we get this back. Like a boss. Come at me. Yep. Shark Typhoon. Frostbite? I don't think so. You wouldn't scry a Frostbite to the top there. Sure, 4 mana to trade half your Bone Crusher Giant for the Robber. I like it. Not the Robber, the Typhoon. You know what I'm saying. Land go. I don't really want to foretell. I might want to make a Shark or play a Borrower. And I think we just counter. Well, if we just end up trading giants, we're pretty happy, right? Let's make a 3/3. No, next turn we can make a 4/4. Sizing matters. This is fine. This is fine. We'll deploy a Borrower and start attacking. See how they like the pressure. Ooh, yeah, the pressure. It's a good draw. Now they're dead next turn if they don't stop the adventure creature beatdown. Robber of the rich, fervent champion. This is mono red. This is mono red. And they did steal a removal spell from me. You clown. All right. For my next trick. Man, we don't have anywhere near mana for Inspired Ultimatum, do we? Nothing in the graveyard this time. Getting back the ECD won't get there. Robber has reach. They're at 9. I mean, might be making a big shark. I guess the problem with that is if they Embercleave. Let's foretell. And now we have 2 counterspells for this turn. Seems good. The opponent is at 4, so even a 1/1 shark can be lethal, and they're taxed. This is mono red. They play mono red. Attack face till they're dead. Nothing else, huh? I will make a 1/1 shark. Guess you ain't got nothing. Game. Will I make another red mage disappear? Or will people play something else? A battle of the 1400s. On the draw. Lots of land. Relying on Brazen Borrower to be good. Shark Typhoon's really slow in a spot like this. But I think it's a keep. There are definitely issues with this hand, though. And they're not... I don't think they're, like, obvious issues. I think it's worth talking about why they're issues. Let's get a white source down so we don't have to pay for it later. Temple of Malice. If they're Rakdos, we feel great because we're Yorion. And Rakdos hates Yorion. Alright, let's get a blue source on the field. Let's foretell a Saw It Coming, I believe is the best use of mana. It's not clear that our Brazen Borrower will have a job, and we might want to play this tapped next turn. Timuric Called the Dead. We have a Weathered Runestone in our sideboard. We should probably work on getting that. Actually, if we wait another turn on this Raven's Warning, we can play it and then possibly play the Dragon the next turn to make sure we draw the card. So what I should have done this turn is played the tapped Seagate Restoration. We'll see if this costs me. Might cost me 3 life. We definitely want to counter that Kroxa when the opponent tries to play it, which could be not quite this turn. Maybe they have a passage. And you see they're thinking about it. They would have to exile and then not play the Kroxa this turn. So they make a zombie. Ouchie. Hold up the counter until the end step. They play a Predator. I don't think I want to counter that. It's annoying, though. It's going to be a problem. We'll just bounce it. But we do have to do something about this board. We are in trouble. Alright, we got mana for a dragon. If we play the Raven's Warning, and then the opponent plays the Predator, and then we play the dragon and attack, the Predator can eat it, which is really bad. Warning not looking good here. So I need to counter the Predator is what we're saying, and I don't have anything else to do with my mana? That's really bad too. How do I deal with the Predator? I could play the Narset and plus it, they attack it, plays Predator. Next turn I have Narset on the battlefield, I can cast like a Shark Typhoon and just go over the top. Then they attack and they kill the Narset and they start hitting my face, but then we start generating sharks. I guess that is a strategy. It also doesn't take into account what they do with their mana the turn I play the Shark Typhoon, which could leave us too far behind. But I think it's a strategy. Unlike the other things that I was discussing, which are mostly just sadness. Now, if the opponent takes their turn using something else to kill the Narset, instead of replaying the Predator, we're pretty happy about that too. Gives us a chance to get the dragon down and get the dragon happening, because if we get to play Goldspan Dragon and attack with it, and then use Saw It Coming, then we're winning. The problem is that the dragon can't attack through the Predator. We would just play the dragon, have no mana available until they targeted it, which they don't necessarily have to do. But that might be the other line we end up taking. Just slamming the dragon and saying go and waiting for them to target it so we have a Saw It Coming.
This is so irritating.
Predator returns, that's what I was afraid of. Okay, so 6 mana, slam the Typhoon. Is that the play? Okay. I mean, this is going to be a heck of a gambit. Like, we're paying life too. Oof. A heck of a gambit that our sharks can overwhelm this situation. Also that our opponent doesn't randomly play Feed the Swarm. It also gets the Predator tapped so Dragon can come down, attack. Opponent with a Kroxa. Neat little hack here. And Village Rites. Okay, they're gassing up. Everything's going well for them. They now have 7 in hand? No, 6 in hand, 7 in graveyard. So Kroxa is also coming back. We have to Saw It Coming that. All right, can we turn it around from here? And have a Throne of Death. Okay. Throne of Death's not that bad. It's gonna be okay. Let's go, dragon. Let's go. We take a huge hit next turn, but we counter whatever they try to do to the dragon or their Kroxa, and then we try to take over. Throw in War. Nope. But that is so much mana too. I'm so happy about that. That was definitely a max upside play from the opponent. Doing it pre-combat is probably a mistake with the Shark Typhoon on the battlefield, because now I have a blocker. Whoa, Nelly. No fear from the opponent. Sacrificial Zombie. They probably plan to pitch it to Village Rites, I guess. No? All right, down to 6. They threw it away for that 2 extra damage. Will that pay off? We can post-combat Amiria's Call, and it will be epic. And then we can hold this to protect the Raven's Warning from a Kroxa. Do we attack with the 3/3 Shark? I think so. We're going to have a lot of blockers. But the opponent is Steal and Sack. They can't have Claim the Firstborn. Maybe it's too aggressive to attack with this Shark. I don't know, that's a tough call. On one hand, I need to put the damage on him. On the other, ooh. Seven Shark, and 2 4/4 Angels, and 1 indestructible 3/3 Shark. And do we play the Mountain? I don't think so. I don't think there's enough upside to it against the Kroxa. Opponent with the attack. That's an easy block with the indestructible. I mean, did they forget? Oh. They didn't forget. Random Kazul's Fury the Face. The thing I couldn't account for. Alright, on the play with the Adventure Critters. Let's do it. Ah, the dreaded 99%. I feel like I'm in the hard lock in 99% this season. Every time I get rolling, something bad happens. Like Kazul's Fury. Alright, let's see what the opponent's got for us. We've got a Shade. Do we want to bounce a Shade or stomp a Shade? They're really similar, and this lets me be more aggressive, as it can be my 3-drop play. Try to put some pressure on the opponent, force them to give us more time to do our thing. And Shade returns. We can buy Yorion, or we can bounce something with Brazen Borrower, or just cast Brazen Borrower and stay aggressive. I think we buy Yorion, because we can use the Petty Theft off the treasure token later. Now we have Sky Noodle ECD combo. Or we can go into Goldspan as we enter turn 5 with a lot of good options. And it's hard for our opponent to play around it. They walk into some amount of this somehow. Whoa, Strida. Okay. They can go... They might have Village Rites. Maybe they will use it in blocking the giant, but they can't kill the dragon here, so maybe we're just supposed to dragon them. We also want a creature in the graveyard for the ECD. I had a feeling it would be the goat, not the Strider. They want to use Claim, I think. We're trying to get some revenge on Rakdos. The last game left a bad taste in my mouth, although it was a very exciting game. Okay, they scry to the top, so they don't want to use that 1 mana. Does that mean that we need to bounce with Brazen Borrower here? No, let's see. Maybe our opponent plays the Akroan War, and we can bounce the Akroan War with the trigger on the stack. There's a claim, so take 2. The opponent also has the mana here to replay the Woe Strider. So bouncing with the Borrower here doesn't really do much. Maybe I'll do it in combat. Okay, maybe they make some other play here. Okay. Borrow your Woe Strider. Should limit their mana a little bit. They can just recast it, make another goat, then sack the Bone Crusher Giant, so that they still get this damage. I was hoping it freaked them out a little, and that they sack the Bone Crusher Giant in response or something. Take 3. Your life total's not that high. Okay, they do play the Akroan War. We do get our giant back because of their timing. And, nice one. Very nice. At least for them, the dragon is tapped, but their life total is, whoo, not good. You have your own dragon, but you're at 3 life. So what's the play? You can't block these. And this is going to go off, so I guess you need to have Heartless Act right here. There is a double attack. You have 2 mana. Can you deal 3 damage? 3 to 3. Bone Crush my face. And Scoop. Wow! 2 very close games with Rakdos. I felt like I was favored in that matchup, but those 2 games make me think it's a lot closer than I believe it to be. Back to 99% because I scoop games against rogues that are boring because nobody watches them. So That's got to be the main reason I'm a 99% gamer this month, because I've noticed in my videos people turn them off as soon as I play against rogues. So I've started scooping every game against rogues that is boring, or just not showing it. And it hurts the win rate quite a bit, but that's the way it goes. I don't know. This casket could be really useful. I guess I'm going to put away the 5-drop. Man, going second sucks. There's nothing worse in Magic than going second. Look at that. Got absolutely obliterated for going second. Opponent has demulliganed already. All right, let's get it dead. Our opponent with Fae of Wishes, Edgewall Innkeeper. I've seen this around. Sultai Adventures. It still runs Emergent Ultimatum, because why not? Let's get the Giant on the field. Dial up a little pressure. Opponent had a play. Well, I guess they could discard to get back Fae. Yeah, that's not a desirable play. So against Emergent Ultimatum, we need to draw some counters, which is something we haven't done all day in the right matchups. In fact, I don't think I have a good piece of footage of a game against a red deck, like against any deck that isn't red, because we've just never drawn counters against the blue decks yet. Maybe this will be the time. Also, Raven's Warning has been a terrible performing card today. Maybe this will be the time for Raven's Warning as well. Would be really nice to fetch up a negate since we can't draw our counters here. Would be nice. Oh! We did it. All right. We need to hit with this, so let's try to Glass Casket this Fae. Nice. And we get the hit, and they didn't do anything. So what's going on? Vorinclex, which is coming down, by the way. We're going to have to bounce it with Borrower. Then Emergent Ultimatum and the Great Freakin' Henge. So Mystical Dispute is for Ultimatum. That's going to be great. The Vorinclex is a pain because ECD can't kill it. But we can bounce the Vorinclex, get him for 5, and we get to fetch a card. So maybe a Disdainful Stroke. If the opponent attacks me with the Vorinclex, we could let it sit. Remember, Raven's Warning doesn't go off if Vorinclex is on the field. So let's see if they attack. I really want to know. Probably not, right? So the other thing that we can do is we can attack it, the Bone Crusher blocks, and then we Bone Crush it. And then this goes off the following turn. We Mystical Dispute, the Emergent Ultimatum, then what? I think we just do this. I think this is too good to turn down. And then we draw Saw It Coming. That's so clutch. We need land, but I guess I'll take a Disdainful Stroke instead. I mean, that's even better, right? And this should tempo them out unless they top deck 2 really cheap spells in really correct places. Easy Mystical Dispute. That's how we're supposed to do it against ultimatums. All right, on the draw, we get this hand with no red mana, but 2 Jwari Disruptions. If it were on the play, I'd want to keep it because of the disruptions. On the draw, I feel like this hand doesn't do anything. But I guess if we draw a red source, even an aggro deck is in trouble. Let's see what happens. Of course it's mono red. When you keep that sketch hand on the draw, you already know it's mono red. Don't pretend like you don't know. Hopefully the Robber of the Rich cuts me to a red source. Whoa, whoa, tap land, whoa. What's going on, red? All right, something wrong over there. All right, hopefully we get to disrupt an Annex. If they play another Fervent Champion, though, I'm just gonna cry. I'm just gonna start crying. Grown man, broken down, crying right here on the show. Nothing. My turn. Okay. Okay. They're playing around it. They're clever. They want to be smarty pants mono red. 4 mana. They're not playing around it. I got you. All right, but they've got that Faceless Haven now to contend with. And we have our red source. If we draw another one, we get to Goldspan Dragon. All right, now they have enough snow to power up the Haven, and Jwari Disruption's unlikely to hit anything. 5 mana's a lot, unless they go for an Embercleave here. Show me an Embercleave. Okay. Well, we could just take this and then make a 2/2 shark, but the 2/2 shark is just going to get like frostbit or something. So I don't think it's worth it. What's much better is to power up the 2/2 shark and the 3/3 shark and try to block the Haven. I don't think that will really work either, but it's worth a thought. All right, untapped red off the top, Dragon Time. Oh my god, are you going to walk into another Jwari Disruption? It must be my birthday. Shuffler's fine. I think this is, I mean, either we can play the Bone Crusher Giant, which is just a 1 mana, like, Frostbite for them, or we can make a Shark Typhoon, which is also a Frostbite for them. I think it's the Shark Typhoon, though. We really need the untapped red for Goldspan Dragon. And have a shot at Inspired Ultimatum, but 3 blue means that's not, like, we're just not going to Inspired Ultimatum on time. It's impossible. Okay. We're getting Faceless up in here. Let's see if the opponent's willing to block to kill this. No? Nothing? I totally want to trade it for 4 life here. I don't think having a 2/2 sitting around is worth it. We also drew the wrong mana. And we drew the wrong mana again. What is going on? Where's the red sources? Why is Magic this way? Alright, fork over that charger. I know it doesn't look like much, but we need every second we can get. Haven trade, I'll take it. But I bet you've got a Frostbite. So we drew 3 Jwari Disruptions and 3 Hengegate Pathways. Ugh, so frustrating. When all I need is another red. Another red, I said. Well, it's a free hit here for the Haven. No, the opponent's gonna slam an Embercleave so that next turn they can put it on the Haven. Okay. Man, the mana is so awkward, but I guess we have to do this. Maybe they have another Embercleave in hand? If they do and they go for it, I'm gonna feel pretty good. I guess, do they have the mana? Not quite. Ooh. Right now I'm feeling that Field of Ruin in my sideboard. Whoa, take 3. Power up, attack, cleave. No! How do you do it? How do you do it, Mono Red? Just sneaking in under the Elspeth Conqueror's Death. How do you do it? And we don't draw the land. But we do... We have a little something something. Feel like I'm fighting my own deck in this game. I got a 4/5. You want some? Come get some. All right. A plains, you don't say. Raven's Warning, 2 life, please. I needs it. I am not attacking. I am a coward. I'm holding off that Faceless Haven. Uh-huh. All right. So, if it's an Ember Cleave, 5 and 5, I go to 1. They also can't cleave, right? Because of tax. So, boom. I mean, you're saving your red mana, and I don't know what for. All right, Rimrock to the Knight. That's a trade, but I get the Yorion back. I get to do some flickering. They just gave me another Raven's Warning. Ayah! Possibly the final stomping! We've done it again! We've done it again! As long as red mages cannot triumph, I love the deck. And we are back for the post-game wrap. And I found it very interesting that my deck, without sweepers, was good against aggro, had some struggles with midrange, and had a really hard time drawing counterspells against control. I would have thought I'd be better against midrange and better against control and worse against aggro. So today's results are pretty small sample size. What did I learn the most? I learned that Inspired Ultimatum is really hard to cast, and you should probably just cut it from the main deck, put it into the sideboard, and fetch it when you need it with Raven's Warning. In its spot, you could just run Fae of Wishes if you want more ways to access your sideboard cards, and that's not a bad idea at all. I learned that rogues are really annoying. I also, so I don't know if the disclaimer game is going to make it in. I think it is, but I'm not showing rogue games anymore unless they have something really interesting happen. The stats don't lie. People just turn off my video if a rogue's matchup even pops up and it's turn 1 Rune Crab, turn 2 Fabled Passage. Like, people just turn off the videos. So I'm only keeping rogues games that have something epic in them. Otherwise, I'm just cutting them, win or lose. So, anyway. I think this deck is good. I thought it would be better against control. Maybe we just drew oddly in those games. I thought it would be worse against aggro, but we pulled it off. And, of course, a deck that pulls it off against mono red just earns this special, special place in my heart. So, I think the deck is sweet. And if you have a lot of these cards, I don't think it will be anywhere near tier 1. It definitely falls into like a tier 3 or worse various Yorion piles, because it's not going to be as good as Sultai, except in some matchups. But it is a very fun deck. I think you could Mythic with the deck. I only try to show decks that I do think you could Mythic with, and here in the post-game wrap, I try to give you the honest take. I think that this is a Mythic powered deck, just not a tier deck, and that's what's fun. Like, you should play off-meta, just outside the fringe tier decks when you have the time and the wild cards. It's part of what keeps Magic fresh. It's part of how I keep going for so many days in a row. 750. Holy crap. Is by playing weird, like, off-meta hodgepodge brews like this. So, give it a try. I hope you'll like it. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.
Bye.